Hi, let's have a little look at certain type of thermometers which are in the collection. I picked these up many years ago. We'll just show these ones plus some over the other side. Go across to there. There we are, we've got 3 more. That's a particularly nice one, that one. At the end. Over the years, I've picked up many interesting items, mainly from junk shops, second-hand shops in the past. And I've got a pussycat meowing. There's the other one. All right, she's gone up. She's just had some food. She's got a very loud meow. And a couple more down here. Anyhow, what we've got is known as a Mason's thermometer, which consists of 2 identical tubes. These ones are all mercury, which presumably today you wouldn't be allowed to buy. I think they've got to be all spirit. But anyhow, these are the old-fashioned mercury ones. In some cases they've lost their little water containers. But what they do, and I'll go back onto the other one so I can look at that more easily. You can see the top. The one on the left is the dry thermometer, and the one on the right is the wet. Now these would be reading the same because these are up and on display. They're not in use. So there's no water in the little water container, which goes up to a wick which is wrapped round the mercury bulb on the wet thermometer. Now we said that the 2 tubes are exactly the same, and we can see them better on this. This one's a nice brass effect. All in Fahrenheit. You can still buy these, but they're nowhere near the same as these old antique ones. I don't know the age of these, but they probably go back 100 years or thereabouts. I've got so many interesting items which I've picked up over the years. I find that is probably the best way of saving. As I've always said, antiques on the whole are better than money in the bank. Well, these I've had, and these go back to perhaps almost childhood days. If not childhood, I was probably in my teens. Anyhow, the theory behind this is to get an indication to show you using charts which depend on the difference on the 2 readings of the 2 tubes and the temperature at the time, and these will give you the relative humidity of the air around them. The idea is the bulb with the wick round it will dry very slowly, and in doing this it lowers the temperature. Now I remember years and years ago when I was a kid, and I wondered why on earth did they do that. When our milk arrived, we had milk delivered in those days. United Dairies was the name of the firm, and often or not the milk would not last very long. It just went off. And what we used to do is not immerse the whole bottle, but just put about half an inch of water in a bucket or a bowl and then wet a cloth and put it over the bottle, and the evaporation caused the temperature to drop. So this is the same theory as these. It's in the evaporating, and it's the speed of evaporating. So obviously, if the air is very dry on a day like this, say for instance, which is pretty warm out there, the air's dry, the evaporation would be faster than if the air was moist or it was raining, and that's how you get your difference. And as I say, it's compensated by the temperature and the difference between the wet and the dry bulbs. These were devised by I presume a person, a Mr. Mason, because these are Mason's thermometers. You can still buy them. I just looked in on eBay. The modern ones are all in horrible plastic. But these genuine old ones, and yeah, they're interesting to have. I can go through other things as well, but I just stick to these. So you've got your 3 up there, and you've got a couple down here. All Mason's thermometers. Don't ask me where I picked them up from. As I say, in the old days, I used to look at all the junk shops, and never knew what would turn up. So that gives an idea how they work. You've got 2 tubes, one free to air, the other one has a little wick round it which is kept wet with water, and it is the evaporation of that which alters the temperature, lowers the temperature, getting back to the milk bottle under the cloth. I know even previous to that they used to make porcelain containers which would go over the bottle of milk, but that was even before my day. So that gives you an idea. And the relative humidity was detailed from the temperature, the difference in the 2 readings of the thermometers. So that's more or less it. As I said before, these go back, I would think, probably nearly 100 years. It might be a bit less, I don't know. But you obviously can't buy them like this anymore, and they are perhaps considered as unusual. Anyhow, that is all I'm going to say on those. Don't know what I'm going to pick up next. You never know. I've got a few bits up there, so there could be lots of things. But anyhow, many thanks for watching. Any questions, please ask. I'll try and get back to you. So it's the Mason's wet and dry thermometer, or I've got to spell this right, hygrometer. It gives you the relative humidity of the air. Thanks again for watching. Thank you.